everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of What You Think, where we are going to be talking about, I think as Fez put it, the 2021 movie of the year. And I think we've all been super hyped. We are going to be talking, obviously, about Fantastic Beasts 3, The Secrets of Dumbledore's trailer.
Shut up.
That
Oh
trailer
my
was so
God.
boring. That
Yeah,
franchise
what
is
the
so
hell was
sad.
that?
Too long, man.
But no, obviously we are here to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh
Woo!
yeah.
But first, let's get it out of the way. We do a weekly show, so we have to talk about what we do every week. Hawkeye. Did everyone here actually watch the episode? Can we just we have?
Yes, I
Oh, yeah,
did.
we watched it.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good. I'm gonna open the floor. Okay, let's all agree on one thing. Can we agree that the best scene in this episode was the scene with Yelena and I almost said her name was Katniss Everdeen. What's her name again? Oh yeah, Kate Bishop.
Hey.
Can we all agree that Florence Pugh was the best part of this episode, hands down?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree, agree.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt, right?
Mhm.
Like everything. I mean, all of us probably already watched No Way Home, and then we watched Hawkeye, except for Fez, I believe. So that was kind of taking over our mind. Would I be correct in saying that?
1000%. Yeah.
But honestly, Florence Pugh is so good that she can not take away, but she can make us forget. Oh yeah, I just saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again. That's how good
yeah.
Florence Pugh is in this show, right? And the way she can just turn it on and turn it off just like that. The menacing, the playfulness vibe. Oh, she's just great, and I can't wait to see her more. And yeah, Eleanor's mom is bad. Whoop de fucking do, right, guys?
Right.
So I guess we'll have a longer discussion on Hawkeye next week, when we get into the finale and talk
I
about
love this.
what we think. But let's not dilly-dally and just get right into the film
Hell yes.
Spider-Man
Hell
No Way.
yes.
But does anyone have anything to say about Hawkeye? Nothing at all.
But Kingpin
Just
was there. That's it.
Yeah, but who
That's it.
cares? We saw Matt
Yeah, we
Murdock
saw-
already.
Yeah,
We saw
so-
Daredevil.
just Yelena, chef's kiss. That's all I
Yeah,
can
she's
say.
great. She's a 10 out
Just
of 10.
Yelena.
I have notes. But
Oh, okay,
I'm gonna
please share.
No, I'm gonna save it for next week, man. Just-
finale,
just
okay.
Just save it for next week, man. We are here for one reason only.
Sure.
So
The Fantastic
all
Beasts
good.
3 trailer. Woohoo! No, but
Go with that,
Spider-Man
yeah.
I'll just
No
save
Way
it for
Home.
next week, to be honest.
I already spoiled that Toby and Andrew in this movie, so if you're
Oh, yeah,
listening and
spoilers,
haven't seen
guys.
it, sorry, full of fucking spoilers here.
Duh.
And let's start off with our general thoughts, okay? I don't know what Eason thinks, so I'm gonna pass it to him first. What did you think of Spider-Man No Way Home?
Wow, absolutely 10 out of 10, man. It's been a while since I see Marvel
Woo!
launching such a good movie. Oh, shit, man. When I first saw it, I was like, would it not live up to the hype? But then when I looked at it, I was like, it does.
That is
And so I was really excited for it.
That
It's
is-
worth it, guys. Watch it.
that is great to hear. And next, let's go to Jang and Eason watched it together. Jang, what did you think of No Way Home? What was your Instagram story again? Was it what a movie? I can't remember. Something like that.
Can't remember.
It was an emoji. I remember you didn't.
Oh,
No,
when
I-
is
I
he
think-
not using a fucking emoji? I'm sorry.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
Justin,
but-
Jen
Yeah,
used the
like-
spider. He used the spider.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
I
yes,
used
yeah, I
spiders.
remember, yeah.
Who is this Justin you speak
Exactly.
of?
You know, when I watch the movie, it makes me want to really go home, man. This is how good the movie is. Legit, I
Same.
don't find a way home because Marvel is my home.
Aww, that's sweet.
Aw.
Yeah. No, yeah, same as Eason. Just, oh my God, they did it really well. Like,
Those
I was
son
so
of a
scared
bitch
that
did it.
they, I was expecting no, I was really scared that they might not pull it off correctly, or it might not make sense or something. But it made sense. They did it well. It worked out perfectly. It couldn't get any better than that. Yeah.
It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. Mel, what did you think of No Way Home?
Oh my gosh. I remember before watching this movie, I thought this would either be a big hit or a big miss. And I personally think that it was a big hit in my opinion. And definitely a really iconic movie for our generation, to be honest, because growing up with the classic like Tobey Maguire and then seeing it all come to play to this day and really seeing how Spider-Man has grown thus far, like within like the different like Spider-Mans and actors let's say. So it's like it's crazy. Like it was actually really like heartwarming and bittersweet to watch this movie, and the impact. Oh my god, I've actually not been so hyped for a movie in so fucking long since Endgame,
Yes.
I'd say.
Mm.
So being able to not have COVID really ruined it this time. We were all able to go and see it in the cinema. I'm just really like grateful for that experience because this is crazy. And it's like if you didn't see this in the cinema, huge ass loss to you. I'm sorry.
On opening day, I'd say opening day definitely.
Opening day
The
is
vibe.
really good.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
COVID is still a problem here in the UK with like
Yep.
90,000 cases, no social distancing, everyone
I-
munching popcorn, but whatever.
I remember thinking like there was actually a lot of people in the cinema, but then I was like, COVID, yeah, but I'm gonna watch this movie. I don't
the
Fuck it,
six
I'm going.
Sinister Six was Omicron.
Exactly.
Spider-Man's greatest villain, Omicron. And Fez, round us off. What did you
Omicron.
think of No
I
Way Home?
love it. I love it. I love it. It honestly saved 2021 for me. It was phenomenal. I still to this day, I can't put it in words. I'm happy that from our screenings, everyone screamed and shouted and reacted. So if you're listening, I hope your cinema screams and shouts too, because it just makes the experience better. And I don't know if you guys noticed this in the credits, but shout out
Avia,
to
right?
it's they thanked all the filmmakers that made this film, and yeah, shout out to Marvel, Sony, producers, basically everyone in that film, because this was a big movie and it took a lot of risk, and thank God they took that risk because the payoff was so worth it. Yeah, it was just so I will get into it later, but also yeah, it's just a great homage to all 7 live action Spider-Man movies, and I can't wait to discuss it further.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's the same here as well. When I went to the cinemas here in Melbourne, like everyone was screaming and shouting. And I was just wondering, like EASON and Jang, you guys, how is it like back home for the cinemas? Because when I watched Endgame, my cinema was pretty dead back in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, our cinema was good. Like, there wasn't that many people dressed up as Spider-Man. But there were a lot of like small references, like people be wearing like a shirt with a spider on it,
Hey, we
Oh.
love
cap
that. That's
or-
good. That's
Oh,
so
that's
sweet.
nice.
or like
Yeah.
wearing some red Jordans or something. Like, yeah, okay, like,
Oh,
but
oh
so
my
like
God.
small things, but it was like low key, so like it was quite nice.
That's perfect.
know-
Like that's more
you
than good.
You know what? You know what's iconic is I see like people sitting around me, like they just on their phone, and then the background of the phone is like all Spider-Man pictures. They all change it
my
to
God,
that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
adorable. Are
I
you
used to do
kidding me?
that. Every time a new movie would come out, I don't know if you remember, that would be my wallpaper. But now it's just a Star Wars
Exactly.
wallpaper. That's my
No, but like how they
life.
do it is smart. Like the guy that Ethan is talking about, he was sitting in front of us, and he didn't have like the poster or something. He had like the Miles Morales, the 2 eyes like that. It was very subtle. So it's like I was like, oh my God, everybody knows how to subtly dress up for this.
Nice.
cute.
So it was
Nice,
really
nice,
it
nice.
was like small things, and it was really nice.
I passed by a group of Spider-Man.
That's amazing.
And one of them was late, so he was like speed
He
walking
couldn't swing to the
cinema.
cinema, eh?
Couldn't
Why
swing,
speed walk?
but-
He just swung.
Not
No,
a
but
true
like,
fan. I'm joking.
I was scared because I went to the 6:40 a.m. show, so and I checked prior. It was not as full as I would like. Like the sides weren't filled, but the middle was like pretty good. But yeah, the audience in mine was pretty great as well. But I remember before the movie started, this guy actually dressed up as Spider-Man. He looked like those children who had the PJs. It looked like they were wearing the PJs. And then this guy was like, "Oh, I'm in this movie." And then like someone in front was like, "It's all your fault, the multiverse shenanigans." And he's like, so that was
That
pretty funny.
sounds so fun.
But everyone can see the screen I'm sharing, right?
Yeah.
You see that what? This is about
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go on like a 2-minute rant here for a second, because when I watched it the second time, it clicked for me. Something clicked for me, and it was okay. So this is about bringing this thing to a close in a way that is emotional and meaningful, and also satisfying in terms of actually answering as many questions as possible. So if years from now someone's watching these movies, all 9 of them, they're watching a story that is as cohesive as possible. What film am I talking about? Oh, can anyone guess? Any guesses?
What do you mean?
Okay,
Will.
this was what J.J. Abrams said about the rise of Skywalker.
Oh no, you're kidding, right? Tell
No,
me.
this is what they said about Rise of Skywalker. So like yesterday when I was watching it again, I was like, holy shit, they really did it. They managed. So there are 8 prior Spider-Man films, and I guess in total, no, this would be 8 Spider-Man films. I was like, they actually managed to resolve and bring forward and conclude movies that weren't even connected from 2002, or films that were like competitors with each other, and bring them all into one universe. And I think every fan is satisfied. If you thought that Spider-Man was Iron Man Jr., he's not anymore. If you thought like Andrew's movies ended very abruptly, he gets some sort of resolution here. And when Emperor Palpatine came at the end, when Tom Holland's putting the Lego figure there,
Yeah.
The
I
Lego.
that's when I
Yeah.
realized like, fuck you, Episode 9. Marvel did it. Marvel they managed to conclude Endgame. They managed to conclude 19 years worth of Spider-Man films. I'm just like, thank you, Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal, every like Fez said, everyone who made this film, just like tabe hormat kepada you for achieving such something of spectacle, grandeur, and just something absolutely beautiful. And you know what I really wanted after this? This is how much I love Star Wars. In the movies that's Marvel, I start thinking like about Star Wars, but Kevin Feige is still set to produce a Star Wars film. I
Yeah.
would love for him to just make an episode 10 that just gives me a nice conclusion to the Skywalker saga. Please, that's all I want. That's all. Just Eason is doing the yes prayer, yes, please. That's all I want from Mr. Feige. But that's my tangent on Star Wars out of the way. Let's go back into No Way Home. A much better film and a satisfying ending to a trilogy, more so than Rise of Skywalker. But obviously, there's a lot of things we love. But we should probably talk about what we didn't care for. If there was anything, so I'm just opening up to the floor. Does anyone have any negatives per se about this film? Something they went like, eh,
I'm so sorry. Like, the spider was hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, he came to join our podcast.
I was freaking out. It was getting closer. It was like hanging. I was like, oh god.
Why are you scared of spiders?
Oh god. Okay.
But does anyone have anything they didn't care for in this film? Mel, Fez, Jang? Okay, Fez has something. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
She watched it twice.
Yes, I did. Don't get me wrong. I love this movie. But it's just a nitpicky thing, which I mean, it's fine, but I wish they did it. So I wish they showed more of Peter and Ned's like relationship, because their relationship was the core of the 2 movies. So I wish they showed more of their relationship in this movie so that we get a more impactful goodbye and we really felt it. Same with MJ, and I don't know about you guys, but it's the same with me for Peter and MJ's relationship. Like, it felt like their relationship felt really quickly because they were never in love in the first movie, only the second movie. So it felt like it felt really quick. So I felt when they were saying goodbye, I didn't really feel the impact that I wanted to in, like, I guess the other 2 Spider-Man movies, their love interest was the same throughout all of them. So the fact that his love interest was different, I mean, it was kind of like, it was fine. It's just that for that last scene, I wish we built it earlier so that I felt more of the impact when they said goodbye. But other than that, that was it for
Awesome.
me. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Nice. Let's see if we can get some consensus here. Does anyone think this movie could have been 3 hours long and we would have been happy? Like, the aspect of Spider-Man dealing with his identity revealed, right, when he goes to school. Like, when I'm thinking of Homecoming, I love those scenes where he's just in school, just like vibing and going through everyday life. And I guess I was kind of disappointed, like you have Peter walking in school, everyone's taking pictures of him, and then we just cut to him and MJ hanging out on the balcony. I think if they wanted to, they definitely could have made this film longer and given more depth
Yeah.
there. But honestly, the 2 hour and 30-minute pacing of this movie is incredible. It starts and it
Yes.
never stops. So would I like to see an extended cut like Lord of the Rings? Sure. Do I think the movie that exists just moves at such a brisk pace that I wouldn't change anything? Also sure. So meh. And Fez, yeah.
Just adding to Momo's point, because Momo made a good point about, like, I guess that I do, because, like, yeah, Doctor Strange did say that, Peter, you can't live 2 lives. So I wish that was emphasized a bit more, not when, like, it was found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man and his whole world crashing with the press. I wish like we got to see a bit more of how living double lives is really risky for Peter. But other than that, I was okay with it. Yeah, it was still great to watch.
I had a fun time.
I had a fun time.
Oh yeah, no, there's a few things that actually I found a bit weird. I don't know whether you
Oi,
guys
oi, oi.
no, but no, it's the CGI, like it was very crispy for a lot of scenes, like the final fight, the Doctor Strange scene that was when he fought Spider-Man, very very crispy. But maybe I need to watch it again. But like the CGI when Andrew Garfield came on, I don't know why for like a quick second it looks kind of wonky. Like
Yeah,
a few
I
scenes like
agree.
the CGI not very crispy. Like it was crispy like overall, but like there's a few very not so crispy parts. So like yeah, that was sticking out to me. Did you guys see that also, or is it just me?
Yeah. No,
All
I
CGI look
agree.
good, honestly.
The portal, right? Like you can definitely
Oh,
tell that was. You're talking about the portal, right, Jang?
Yeah, so
oh, the
the
final.
portal and also like his head, like it just looked a bit like weird. I don't know. I need to see again, but because he came like maybe I was just too excited or something, and then like my my vision just blurred or something. But like yeah, a few parts was not very crispy.
I didn't notice that personally, but if I'm not mistaken, they had to like crunch it down to the wire. But can we just also go back to something? Do you guys remember the trailer and how they cut out Andrew Garfield and Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire?
Oh
You guys,
yeah,
Yeah.
We
then
the
all
lizard, the whole
remember.
punch.
We all
I'm sorry,
saw
that's
that.
so
Yeah.
dumb. I feel so bad for the visual effects artist who has to erase them. Like,
exactly.
it's really dumb. But okay, does Eason or Mel, do you guys have any negatives with the film?
I mean, like, I think it's
You
a
can
good idea to
nitpick.
cut them out from the trailer anyway, because
Yeah.
like to show
It
Andrew Garfield
is,
and Toby from the
yeah,
start. I mean, that takes out the element of surprise.
no,
We're here for the anticipation.
they could have showed a different shot. I just felt, knowing what visual effects artists have to do, I just felt bad that someone's job was to digitally erase them. It
Erase.
kind of
Yeah,
seems like a backtrack.
exactly.
Unless they were never in the original shot. Maybe
Yeah.
they. Who knows?
Ah,
Who
Who
knows?
knows?
I don't really know.
very
That's a nitpick. But
smart.
I do have one
Mm.
nitpick. I really don't like J. Jonah Jameson. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I'm a
he's a
was
huge.
bit yeah.
disappointing.
No, I'm a huge. Okay, I'm not joking. Every day I've been rewatching the J. Jonah Jameson scenes from the original Raimi trilogy, and he is so funny. Like, Spider-Man 3, my favorite one has to be the pill scene where not that one, not that one. What do you want? What are you
Drink
waiting for?
plenty of
Chinese New
water.
What are you waiting
Oh
for?
yeah.
Chinese New Year?
Yeah,
Go, go, go,
yeah.
go. Does anyone care what I want? I do. But I don't like the Alex Jones character that they're doing here, because the core essence of J. Jonah Jameson is that he's not a bad person. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not. But
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
then Alex Jones, not to get political, has denied and called the whole Sandy Hook murders, the shooter event, as like a giant conspiracy, or it was all fake. So I think that just really left a bad taste in my mouth. I did not care for this outright direction that they went for J. Jonah. It made me really like, ugh, political in a bad way, and it kind of just took away from the character to be a bit more malicious. You get what I mean? But does anyone have any other negatives? No? Should we just go into what we
Uh,
loved?
there was actually
Another.
one thing with
Ooh,
with the suits, like you know
okay.
Oh.
like no, nothing wrong with the design of the suits. I like the design of the suits, but how they came about was kind of weird. Like the one where that he wore when he when he what is that, when he fought Electro and
Gold
Sandman.
one? Oh yeah.
Like yeah, they just turn it inside out, which is like, oh, but then like why? I mean, it's not like the outside of the suit. I thought maybe like it was burnt, or it's not. It's just someone splashed paint on it. But can't you just wear it normally? I mean, like just got green, whatever lah. It's not like he's trying to do fashion or something, right? So that was kind of fine. And also when the nanobots transferred back to from Doc Ock to Peter, and then he got the
New
gold
suit.
thing.
The
Like
biggest, yeah.
yeah, but what the nanobots are now like costume designers, is it? Like it knew how to like make it nicely. So like the costumes, as nice as they were, like how they came about was like yeah.
It was cute. I like seeing Doc Ock and Peter get along.
Yeah, no,
Mel
that was nice. I know, but it's
Oh,
just the why like that? Like I thought maybe
why
they
like
go
that?
like I like the Far From Home, when he was customizing the suit in the jet
Yeah.
on the way there. Yeah, that was like all right, this is how he made it. But this one is just like touch you and then you just do and come on and ta-da, you got a new suit. I'm like, oh yeah.
I guess for me, like maybe towards like the beginning when Peter was trying to convince the lady about the whole MIT fiasco, and then when Doc Ock came in, I I guess like and Doc Ock came in, Green Goblin came in. At that point, I kind of felt like it kind of felt almost a little cheesy because you don't really understand the context of how they got there and what exactly is the whole situation about, right? It really felt like, oh, we're just trying to bring in all the villains from the past, and I'm just kind of like, okay, how are we going to patch this all up together? It almost felt like fan fiction in a way. um but it was until like we started to get into the plot and really understood like what's actually going on, that's when it wasn't really like fanfic feel anymore. But I guess this was just that part that kind of threw me off a little bit and made me question like, oh, is this going to be like, is this movie going to be okay? But yeah, I just thought that his entrance was delightful, but at the same time kind of made me question the direction a little bit. But they solved it at the end, which is not a big deal. So
It's all good. It all worked out in the end. Fez?
I just want to add because Jang brought up the suits. It's just the first time, but then I think I got used to it. Is I don't know if you guys felt this way too, but when you first see all three Spider-Mans coming together to fight, I kind of got confused, like who was who. I was like, oh, which
Hey,
Yeah.
no,
which
you can
one
tell
is
by the
which
eyes.
one is Tom? Like the eyes, yeah. But then from far away, when they swing, all three of them, I'm like, oh, who's who? But like,
Yeah, because they're all the same color.
yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, like but then I think you got used to it from the voice, and yeah, but other than that, not a problem though. It was still amazing.
Amazing. And Eason round us off with a negative.
Yes. So I feel a bit sad for Dr. Curtis, like the lizard guy. The lizard guy has so less fighting
Oh,
scenes. Like
yeah.
they didn't give. I think they didn't give him
Oh.
enough
Yep.
scenes for him.
Mhm.
Like he just kind of become like a caliphate at the side. Like they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this giant lizard, and then everyone has like different backgrounds. While Curtis is like, yep, I'm just gonna turn y'all into a lizard. And then I was like, I think they should provide more balanced scenes. Although I appreciate the fact they give most to Doc Ock and also to the Green Goblin, but I think they should have a better balance in terms of giving more scenes to Dr. Curtis. I think that's something that I would nitpick about, but it's not really a big deal. But I just feel bad for the character itself. It just kind of get dusted off like really lightly, and I hope that they give them more fight scenes or maybe
Wanna be a
more
lizard?
character development scenes. Exactly.
That's a really good point, Eason. Shout out to that.
like branching off from that, it kind of really felt like Doc Ock and Green Goblins were like probably the only ones who played like a huge role, and like Electro is just against everyone for some reason. But like Sandman as well, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I don't understand what exactly you're feeling right now, but you're just there fighting
Family.
against family, right? I mean, but yeah, and I don't know, I was also just kind of surprised at how fast like Doc Ock kind of was like, I'm on your okay. They solved the chip, which is like fine, right? But then like I don't know, but yeah, I guess like dividing the roles would have been good, but I'm not like complaining about it. I'm just like trying to be nitpicky here.
Yeah.
But I felt like everything still worked out, and I love that Green Goblin was like the main, antagonist because he is scary. Like I rewatched the first Spider-Man movie, and I was like, dude, this dude is scary. And then like I watched this one again, I'm like, he's still scary. What the fuck?
Yang, what nitpick shall you bring up now?
Oh, Doctor Strange said that they all die fighting Spider-Man, but
It's not
do
true.
they?
Not really.
Yeah, not true.
Sandman doesn't.
Yeah, Sandman and
I mean,
Lizard
yeah,
don't.
not
So
him.
I'm like,
Yeah, not them.
You wanna?
Yeah, so-
we can nitpick the shit out of this movie. I could go and say something like, why did Electro didn't know who Spider-Man was? Peter Parker, sorry, he didn't know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Why was he brought in? Why were Toby and Andrew brought in? What did they know that they were Spider-Man? We could go on. And like my friend said, like this movie is built on a house of cards where if you like you have to suspend a lot of disbelief, which I don't care because I was smiling and crying and I was happy. But I'll just jumping off Mel's point, that's why when I first watched the film it was like a 9 out of 10 for me, because I don't know why seeing all these villains just walk into an apartment felt so weird, right? So jarring to me. The first time I was like, what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But then when I watched it again, I kind of got over that, but it did feel a
Yeah.
lot like that. But let's stop nitpicking, because why want to?
Yeah.
In the words of
Yeah.
Rustico, let's talk about the things we love, not the things we hate. And let's
Oh,
segue a bit to our first question of who was our favorite villain. I'm gonna start first because I think none of you will say this. So, some of you will either go Goblin or Doc Ock. But honestly, I really loved
Jamie.
Electro in this film
Mm.
because Amazing Spider-Man 2, he was just a dumbass. Like, oh,
Yeah.
my birthday, my
Yeah.
birthday. It was just so
Yeah.
pathetic. I get what they're trying to do, but it was just comedic and it felt out of place. And he was more Jamie Foxx than Electro, I guess. But oh my god, he was just so effortlessly cool, and the motivation that he had, I thought was interesting. He was the most villainous of them all, if that made sense, right? Like he just wanted that power. He really wanted power here, but and he just oozed charisma, if that makes sense, right? I
yeah.
just thought he was, and he was the fun. He delivered the funniest line in this movie. The
Yeah.
Black Spider-Man one had me
Yeah.
laughing, but we're gonna go into that later. But yeah, let's see, who loves the Goblin in this one? The Goblin's the favorite villain. Who would say that? Oh, I thought it would be more. Okay,
Oh,
Ethan, yes, please tell
yeah.
us why the Goblin was your favorite. And
Yeah,
Mel, okay.
actually, I appreciate the Goblin as a villain because it's like I get why like he's so evil. Like he's like he's like a bit like Joker, you know, like trying to push
Yes,
the limits of like
the hero.
humans. He's like the only weakness
Mm.
you have is kindness. Then I was like, oh, that's kind of true, you know. And then he keeps testing Peter's limits all the time compared to other villains. Other villains are just like, oh, I'm bad, you know. But Green Goblin has hidden motive inside. It's like it's more of a deeper level, and I like how it shows his vulnerable side, his normal side, and also his like villain side. Because of him, his presence that allows Peter Parker to give them a chance to cure them, but also because of him, it makes all of his choices seem to be
Yeah.
a wrong one. And I like how they balance out that, and being a very complicated, cool criminal it is. That's why I really like about Green Goblin itself. And it's pretty OP though, the way they put the thing inside when Dr. Steven get the thing. I don't want
Oh
to spoil
my
too
god,
much.
that was great.
So
I
I
didn't
was like,
expect
that
that.
is genius, man.
You accidentally muted yourself, I think, but I definitely agree with that point. What you said. What is it? The Green Goblin is very much the Joker to Batman. He is the antithesis of what Spider-Man stands for, right? And it really just solidifies him as Spider-Man's greatest villain, because the man is just about power and evil. And in the original films, when Goblin went, me and you were not so different. They are really not, because it's all about our choices. So very deep. But Mel, you also love the Gobby?
I loved him because he definitely still proves that he is a force to be reckoned with. And I just really appreciate the actor in a sense.
Oh.
It's been years and yet he still managed to hold his ground. That smile, that laugh. It's oh wow. Okay. Momo just made the goblin face, like for you listeners who didn't see, but I saw, but that was menacing. But yeah, that actor really held his ground. I just really appreciated that he still managed to bring back that vibe that he had from the first movie. And I like his outfit here. It's still the same, but I feel like it's a bit less chunky. So I
You see the
appreciate
face.
it.
That's why we love it. You get to see his face acting.
We
It
got
is
to
so
see the
good.
face too. And I really like when he was fighting in the very last scene and Tobey Maguire came in and how he stabbed him at the back, which is kind of like a reference to the first movie.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Wait, did we think he
did get
died?
him back.
No.
I thought I was like, oh, panic. I panic.
Actually,
I
yeah,
was
at first,
panicking as
Yeah.
shit. But then he was like, I'm fine. I was like, phew, don't do that to me, Marvel.
And then chose you
Yeah,
a
I
subtle
know.
joke.
Oh, my heart. I
Marvel's
couldn't take it.
popular.
I would have rioted in the cinema if he actually died. I would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And also, it reminded me of the other fake stabbing that Marvel did with Iron Man. When Thanos stabbed him,
Yeah.
the same panic. And also, yeah, this movie just a lot of panic. But I'm surprised, Fez and Jang. So, who were your favorite villains? Sandman?
Do you want to go first or?
Same or different?
Yeah, mine is the
Octopus.
same one. It's
Oh, Goblin.
no, it's
Octo.
Jamie. Jamie.
Oh, Jamie! Wow!
Oh.
Hey!
Oh,
No, because he got so much upgrade from last time. Last
Upgrade.
time,
How you like the new
such a
me?
he's just such a retard. Like, what's going on?
Don't. Oh, that's mean.
No, but then like in this one, he's actually like there's actually a story, and like they explain like he was like, oh, I got my body back. So I was like, okay, makes sense. And then like how his suit got he took the arc reactor, because I was wondering about that. Like, wouldn't in this world there's an arc reactor, so wouldn't he go crazy for that? And so like he did. So yeah, he really got an upgrade, and and also his I missed his voice from the first one. Like, you know how it makes the whole cinema vibrate with the electric voice that they do, that they cut. Like, I don't know what they do to his voice to make it sound like that, but it's really nice. So
Wait,
yeah, I liked him the best.
Mel mentioned she was also a fan of the dubstep, right? When I heard that dubstep, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Yes, I know.
oh my, let's go.
I've been a fan of this dubstep since like the movie and then it came out. I was like, oh shit! Oh,
So
God,
good.
it's back. It was
But I assume FEZZ is going to go for Doc Ock.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised none of you guys said.
He will. I would
Doc
say
Ock,
he
yeah.
pretty good. All are good.
Yeah,
Just,
for
we
me,
have
it's a hard decision.
yeah, for
sorry.
me, I think the thing it's because that he stole the show with his confusion and aggression, and I especially love that immediate switch when they put the new
Inhibitor
reactor.
chip.
Yeah, and then he just suddenly like himself, and I just love, what did I say? Yeah, I just feel like in this movie we get to see like his contrasting personalities more than I think in Spider-Man 2. They only left it at the really end. So I just love that jarring like comparison and how he suddenly just regrets everything when they put the chip. Don't get me wrong, like William Dafoe's performance as Green Goblin is amazing. I love it. But for me, I think Doc Ock's personality and depth stole the show as my favorite villain in this Spider-Man.
We all can agree Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro, they were all top tier villains here, were they not? We can all agree. They all got. It was hard to choose, wasn't it? Mel and EASON? Would you agree?
True. I agree that. I feel bad for Dr. Curtis still though.
You like the lizard boy. You wanna be a lizard?
He's like,
You wanna be a
back.
lizard?
Just kidding.
No, okay, can I just say something was very weird when I rewatched it yesterday? Like, I don't know why he had to beat Peter in the apartment. I told you there would be consequences. And he just like pushes Peter, and he's just like, why he just came and was like, fuck you, Peter. I was like, what? What's going on here? But other than that, I'll say one thing. It makes me really sad that Otto Octavius, there's no Rosie for him to go back to.
Oh
I I'll agree. Alfred Molina, I love that man, that British man. But okay, we all have different villains. That's nice. But let's all talk about our favorite Spider-Man. We had 3 of them here, and let's start with the oldest. Who loved Toby the most?
You can't do this. You can't ask.
You can't do.
This is great. You can't.
You're like Green Goblin in the first one. You can't do this to me. Do you know how much I sacrificed?
Sacrifice for this company.
You're out, Norman. Bye. I think I'm better than Dane DeHaan.
No, but
any Toby fans here? Toby the favorite?
I can't pick, like, if you ask me like to not pick Toby as my favorite, it's like I'm saying no to like my childhood like guy. Like I can't. He's the start of it all. I can't do that.
But actually I think that for Tobey Maguire, I don't think his character is more like sort of mature than I expected, because in the comics, Spider-Man is very chatty, it's very like a kid. But Tobey Maguire is so mature, and I was like, although when I was watching growing up, like it's my first Spider-Man, but I still believe it's not as what I expected compared to what I see in the comics, because they are like so lively and chatty and like annoying. But this Tobey Maguire is like the emo guy, like and then I was like, oh, this is not what I expected. So which is why I think it is not my favorite compared to how close they make it from the comics. That's what I would base my opinions on.
I guess for me, like I appreciate like Tobey Maguire's like Spider-Man mainly because like you see how hard it is to swing and like all the things he's ran into, and so it gave a really like like EASON said, a really mature take, and it's also kind of like a really realistic take, like wow, being Spider-Man is not that easy, like this dude is like it's not having a great time right now. But I totally appreciate Tom Holland's one because he's such a kid. Like you really get the whole Iron Man, like, oh, you're just a kid, right? Like he's literally just a kid. Like he's not making the best choices, and you really want to hate him for it, but you can't because he's honestly just a
Doing good.
teen.
He does it with the best
Yeah,
intention. It's
with the
sweet.
best intentions, and I think he
Mm.
really captures the true essence of what Spider-Man really is. So I think, but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give like my opinion on what I think of them, but I can't pick who's my favorite. You can't do
can't.
that to me.
I'm gonna channel the Green Goblin again. You must choose the girl you love or kids in a train.
Or the kids. Shut up.
Not sure.
20 kids, one girl, and he does both. Spider-Man. But Fez, who are you picking?
Okay, I'll
Don't
get
say-
to that. I'll get to that later. Wait, I'll get to that later.
Say something
I
nice
just,
about Toby, please.
yeah,
Poor guy.
I just wanna, because Eason and Mel did like, I guess like when they talk about Toby, and Tom. So I just wanna like kind of bring in what I thought too. Yeah. I definitely, when I was young, I really didn't appreciate this first three Spider-Man films, but rewatching it again, I do really appreciate Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and all the Spider-Mans. I think all of them have a different approach. It just depends on what you like, and there's no such thing as a wrong approach. So they all have different directions. I appreciate Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man about, like what Eason said, his quietness, his calm, and how he's collected. And I just like also in that original Spider-Man that he shows that anyone like an underdog can be a hero and do great things. So I love that. I also like what Mel said. I love Tom Holland too, because I love like what she said. I love that he showed the youthfulness of Spider-Man and the portrayal of a realistic high school kid, of what a kid will react to when he's put in these situations. So, and I love the raw emotion that Tom Holland brings. And it's just like what Mel said in an authentic way. But to get to Mo's
Don't say
question,
Andrew yet. No, not yet.
No,
not
not
yet.
yet, not yet.
I'm gonna
Okay,
say
so do I
something nice
save
about.
it?
I'm gonna
Do
say
I
something nice
save it?
about
All right,
Toby
I'll
also.
save it.
I
I'll
think
save it.
I think Eason was the one who said it just now. That scene at the end where he stares down Tom Holland, and there's just so much
Oh,
emotion
yes.
of like,
Yeah.
don't do this, kiddo. Then like, oh, you didn't do
Yeah.
it. Then he gets stabbed. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It's just,
Yeah,
it's like
oh my
seeing
God.
an old friend again, right? Like, but I mean, an
Yeah.
old friend, an
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
friend again. Like when he just shows up there, I think, uh, Tobey Maguire is the best nerdy Peter, like the biggest
Oh yeah.
loser in that regard. But I mean
The
that in the best possible way.
punchable
He's
face.
just like, but he's
Uh-huh.
so cute. Like, hey guys, hi. I'm just an old, like an
Yeah.
old man. He just brought such a nice vibe. Like it was heartbreaking when he had to, when he was thinking of Harry Osborn. I was like, it's just nice seeing you, like comfort food, right? Like my childhood. You're old now. Fuck.
You're old.
But
Oh,
Eason
yeah.
and Ross, Jang, do you have anything nice to say about Toby, Mr. Toby? No.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
you. Good to see you.
Like nice.
I heard
Good
I'm
to see
going to
you.
see you, but I see you. Okay, hey, how you doing, man?
I'm
No, but
gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna assume all of us love Andrew the most, but
yeah.
I think Mel has said about Tom. I have to say this is probably Tom's best turn as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Easily,
Yeah.
just that raw emotion, that fight with the Goblin, how much he has to go through. But I'm surprised we all equally love Andrew, so I'm gonna give it to the biggest Andrew fan here. Fez, please tell us why you love Mr. Garfield.
Oh my God.
Lasagna.
Like guys, you have no idea. Like I loved Andrew Garfield since 2012 when I saw The Amazing Spider-Man in cinemas. I still love him to this day. Oh my God. Like what I said in the previous podcast episode, I really love Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He has a balance of everything. He shows his geekiness, his quirkiness, he's confident, and he's cool. And I'm so glad they showed it again accurately when we first see him in that portal scene in No Way Home. And he can really steal the show with like just his personality. And it's great that we can still see that in this movie. And in The Amazing Spider-Man, I love how it shows how he really wants to help people, especially at that, like, for me, the scene that really stood out the most was the car scene when he was saving the kid. And I just also love that even in this movie, he wants to help Tom Holland's Peter Parker to not go to just basically help him with all the trauma. I just love that so much. Oh, I love Andrew. I want to say something later after all of you guys compliment Andrew, but yeah, Andrew for me is my Spider-Man, and he will always be my Spider-Man.
Then are we Team Andrew?
I think that for my side, I think Andrew is a really good take. Like when it comes to him and Electro, I think it's a really good sort of scene where I see he's trying to bond with the villain. Like he's actually not the villain. He's just like he's just been looked down upon, and he just needs a friend. And I like how Andrew's trying to be the nice sort of superhero. It's like, oh, actually, you don't have to feel let down on yourself, and it's okay. I can be your friend. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's such a nice sort of wholesome Spider-Man I see. Instead of just like killing them or fighting them, beating their ass, I think it's good to see Andrew's sort of Spider-Man side where they're really nice and warm for the villain itself. So I think it's really a good plus point when I see Andrew as a Spider-Man.
That's really sweet. But so wait, if Andrew's not your favorite and Toby's not your favorite, would Tom Holland be your favorite in this movie then? Tom Holland.
Yes,
Okay,
I
please.
think in terms of comics adaptation, I would believe that Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. In terms of how close is it, but I will give kudos for both Andrew and also Tobey, because I think they both played Spider-Man at different maturity levels, which is what I appreciate as well. But it's just that it did it not exactly in the order where it's Tom Holland and let's say Andrew and Tobey. Then I think it would be a really good transition to see how he has grown up and become mature. But yeah, either way, I do appreciate all three of them because they do bring out some awesome. They do play their
own flavor.
Their best. Yeah, I think they have different flavors, and just for me personally, I prefer the high school version because I relate to that the most.
Okay, so we have Tom, Andrew, Mel. Obviously not Tobey. So who are you? Team Andrew or are you Team Holland?
I love Tobey.
Oh, you didn't pick him as your favorite.
I would say that my favorite portrayal at the moment to this day would be Tom Holland's portrayal. Very similar to EASON's reasoning, and he said everything I wanted to say with the whole like 3 different flavors. I love Tobey mainly because he's the classic that I grew up with. You can't ever like let go of the first, your first Spider-Man, whoever. It's like when you go watching Doctor Who, whichever season you start off with, that's always going to be your Doctor.
11th Doctor, man.
11th Doctor,
hell yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I very much appreciate the high school material that Tom Holland's going for. And I think especially with this movie, it gave a really big impact to his Spider-Man because he made the entire world forget who he is, like Peter Parker as Spider-Man. I think that was such a big sacrifice, like just bigger than anything that the past Spider-Men
have done.
Yeah, in my opinion. So I thought that was this movie really was a huge setting stone for his Spider-Man, and yeah,
that's okay.
So I'm gonna go with Tom.
Fez has something nice to say about Tommy. With that hand
wait,
raised?
until Jang
Jang
can
first.
go first.
Jang go. Okay,
I want to say something later.
Jang, Tom or Garfield? Dun 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 dun.
The Garfield.
The Garfield.
Hey, welcome.
No, like you guys said it all. Yeah, Tobey, of course, the classic. Yeah, and like EASON treated all correct. Like that's exactly how I feel. But no, with Andrew in this one, just specifically in this one, like you got like a closure from the last 2 movies which didn't close, like right. So when he, oh my god, like when Anmi died I was sad, but when he caught MJ, like oh Jesus,
we'll get to that.
That one I can so like he in terms of a Spider-Man, like to me he's the most like like fun. Like remember when they mentioned the Avengers, like are you in a band? So like he's the most fun, and like in this movie, like he was so nice to watch on screen, like because not only is it's him, but like his story is still going. Whereas like Tobey, he's kind of like you're every time he turns up, you're like oh Tobey, but then like when he saw like Docker, is like, hey, just hey, how are you, man? Like that's it. So like Andrew was really not only being a good Spider-Man, but he was pushing his story for but not pushing, like closing it up really nicely. So I really like that.
Fez, would you like to continue the choo-choo train of Andrew Love?
I guess it's kind of like a comment which I love a lot. What I love about this movie is that both Andrew and Tobey Spider-Man have grown up. It's literally kind of like a mini sequel of after their movies. So it's shocking because I thought when they would come in, they'll be like in the middle of their fights in one of their movies, but it's just amazing that they show the portrayal of them growing up after all the events they went through in their old movies. And I just love that because of that, they were a great mentor to Tom Holland's Peter Parker, who was really emotionally traumatized after that whole like Aunt May died. And no one knows the pain more than Andrew and Toby's Spider-Man. So I just love that a lot. And I just also wanted to say, I think for the first time in the MCU for Tom Holland, we get to see him. I've never seen him so angry besides from this movie. So yeah, again, shout out to the emotional performance from Tom Holland. But yeah, I just thought it was so cool that Andrew and Toby grew up and they're giving really great advice. So I love that a lot in this movie.
That's the thing about this movie. It just tied a lot of loose ends, or it just revisited a lot of not past trauma, like past hurt that we've been through in our past movies as well as spectators, especially with Andrew Garfield and how he couldn't catch MJ. And like Jen, you talked about this earlier, but I remember being like, when our MJ, the MJ we know now, when she was falling, I was like, oh, is Tom Holland gonna save her or something?
I also panicked when the glider just yeeted him. I was like,
yeah. I was like, who's gonna get him now? Who's gonna get MJ now? And when it ended up being Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, oh my god!
I mean, we all expected it, but it's that look, right? When he catches her and his face just like breaks down. My god!
It's
Yeah.
Give him a
I
fucking
will talk
Oscar.
about that later.
The cinema, everyone was clapping like and screaming, and I was like, oh my god, like that was so oh my god, I can't explain how I feel with that because I'm gonna cry. It was so good.
There's one thing I agree as well. It's like, for me, I think it's the best therapy that Andrew can ever get.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
I know.
He actually have that. I was like, I'm looking at it. I was like, whoa. This one best therapy ever, best closing, best therapy for Andrew.
Yeah.
Wow. Legit live life with no regret hashtag.
Yeah, no, Eason, I don't know whether you noticed in the cinema, but after Goblin hit Tom Holland away, right? I don't know whether you heard it. It was really soft, but some guy was like, Andrew! Andrew!
Oh. I love that.
But no, it's funny. This guy like couldn't commit. He was just like, Andrew. He was about to shout, but he couldn't.
Oh, you want to talk about not weird CGI? When he comes down, like, he's just like a weird.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. That's CGI. I agree. I can see what you're talking about. Like,
but it was still great.
It looks fake, but that look. Oh, give him an Oscar for Tick Tick Boom lah. Can lah. But Mel, you had something to add? Or is your hand accidentally up? I'm gonna assume your hand is accidentally up because you're enjoying that cheesecake. But okay, my turn, as they say. Wow, this is a great discussion. I'm enjoying it. But okay, Andrew Garfield has never been my favorite Spider-Man because his two movies were kind of the worst ones. Sorry, FEZZZ. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
But he was always the best part in those movies. But like when he's too busy doing about shitty subplots about his father and the blood, I just don't fucking care. But if you put that man, I was so happy when TASM 2 was cancelled. I was at TASM 3. I was like, woohoo, fuck that. Woohoo, let's go back to Marvel, big boy. But dude, he was okay. There's so much enthusiasm and earnestness and infectious personality that just you could tell that man came for redemption, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like that man made everything of every single moment that he was in this movie, and I'm getting more goosebumps just thinking about it. But like my favorite small moment with him is like when he goes Peter 3 and he does like that kind of like, like that. Something about just watching him was just like, oh, my heart was full that I felt even. And you know, at the end when the movie was like, thank you, Avi Arad, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That? Fuck Avi Arad. Okay, fine. If okay, good. If Avi Arad is, but Avi Arad was the reason that Venom had Spider-Man 3. Okay, Avi Arad is probably the reason why TASM 2 had too many villains. Okay, so fuck that guy. And
the reason why Spider-Man 3 had Venom.
Yeah, he basically what happened was.
Oh, you said Venom has Spider-Man 3. I was like,
sorry. No, but if the story was that Sam Raimi was gonna do this film about like Sandman and who was the other guy in the movie? Harry Osborn. But then like Avi Arad basically guilt tripped him he showed like a bunch of fan mail like, you must put Venom. The fans love Venom. So that's basically what happened with Spider-Man 3. And
Oh, that's why Venom's there. Oh.
you can blame Avi Arad, but man, Garfield just knocked it out of the park here.
Woo.
That man is an incredible actor. I don't know if I'm on a tick tick boom high, but I agree with everything you just said. Okay, but if you want me to use my big brain, here we go. Let's say
Okay.
that Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, Tom Holland best Peter Parker.
Yes, that's a good one.
We split it up.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh, smart, very smart.
yeah, that was
I-
good. Yeah.
I like that Andrew is a combination of Toby and Holland. I feel like that in the middle. So it's like a really good
like that.
combo.
All three
Yeah.
are good
Oh.
Spider-Man.
Mature yet fun.
Yeah.
That's what I like about
For
him.
sure.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but no, maybe I'll say Toby is the best Peter.
Overall. Oh, best the biggest
Yeah,
loser.
and then
poor guy.
yeah, he's the best loser. So yeah, and then then Garfield is the best Spider, and then Tom is kind of like the best versions
Of both
both.
worlds. That's fair.
Yeah, best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. Yeah, but remember they even like talk about like the stupid things like Andrew Garfield
Yeah.
was like, I fought a metal rhino.
The Rhino.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, what the hell was that? So like I like that they even called out all this like questionable stuff that they did in their own movie.
I thought
So,
about
like,
Goo. Oh, and when he called Andrew amazing, it felt like validation for
Oh.
Andrew's movies.
yeah,
right?
that's why he
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah,
getting
meta.
yes.
Meta.
Yes, I wanted to bring that. I was just about to bring that up as well, actually. Like the way how he was like, no, you're amazing. You're amazing. Say it, you're amazing. Okay, we get it. But I loved it. It was here's therapy for Andrew Garfield, and I love that.
Exactly.
Was anyone slightly triggered? I don't know, when Tom Holland's Peter 1, Toby Peter 2, and Andrew Garfield Peter 3 was. I feel like a fan would be triggered. Like, put some
Yeah.
respect, older seniority, you little shit.
I wanted Toby to be Peter 1, Andrew Peter 2, and Tom Peter
Yeah,
3.
same.
I was like,
Oh.
guys, please, like, who made this like order?
When
Pitchforks and
when I watched the first time, I thought Toby was Peter 1 and Andrew's Peter 2. But then when I rewatched it again, I was like,
it's
oh wow,
Tom
I got it
Holland, Peter
wrong.
1, Peter
Yeah,
2,
I was like,
Peter
oh
3,
wow, I got
Peter
it
3.
wrong.
I love that. I
Like,
love that.
oh yeah.
I love this movie. It's so sweet. We all love our Spider-Man. But let's talk about the movies are made of scenes.
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh dang.
Yes.
Oh, big
Great
break.
job.
That was really
No.
that
This
was
time for you,
So
bro.
let me write that down.
great
Holy shit.
observation. Great observation, sir.
So let's talk about, this movie is all about satisfying the fans, and let's just talk about our most satisfying scenes, the scenes that made us go like our heartful. And I think Jang is going to talk about the MJ Peter scene. So yeah, the floor is yours. Your most satisfying scene.
I think most people will pick the MJ
Picking
Andrew
up,
scene,
saving.
but the one that I need to talk about
Ooh,
is Matt
woohoo.
Murdock.
Oh,
Holy
Ah,
shit, we
I was
got
like,
Matt
when are you gonna
Murdock.
bring that up?
Go for it. Go
Yes.
for it.
Yes, we got damn Matt and we weren't Momo sent me some theories, but I was like, yeah, everybody's in this movie. But like it was so unexpected that he just turned up and he's so casual. He's just like, oh Peter, I think you need to and I don't even remember what he said. I was just too happy. Like EASON, I think you remember I was the happiest in that cinema.
Yeah,
Like-
Jay was like, oh my god, it's him. And then I was like, who's him? Oh.
So like
Right.
like I was telling Mel just now, like only like maybe half the cinema only recognized him, but that half was very, very happy. So like, no, but like just what it stands for, it means that Kingpin, like for Hawkeye, Kingpin, so like it means that all these characters are now like part of the MCU, like Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. They're all actually they've actually acknowledged them. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I'm happy that they've acknowledged them. Like finally, Daredevil. I love that guy. So like that was probably like one of my favorite scenes. Like I told Ethan like, oh, I can leave already after I saw Daredevil. I was like, it's okay, I can go already.
What?
I don't.
Not even for the Spider-Mans?
I need to go 1 hour and digest this before I come back
Oh,
for
I'm so
more.
proud of
But
you.
I was as a fan of the Netflix
Daredevil.
Marvel movies.
Mm.
It was a amazing. Like just they don't need to give us much, just give us that like I think it was like 2 minutes.
Barely
with
a 2
Daredevil.
minutes, I think. My
Yeah,
God, that was
barely. I
short.
think,
Yeah, they didn't even like 2 seconds also are happy. But like yeah, very happy for that nod. So that was one of my favorite scenes,
But
definitely.
you know how to make this even more meta? John Favreau, Happy, he was the
Yeah, he's
Foggy Nelson in the
yeah, he's
2003
Foggy
movie.
Nelson.
So that's kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, even more funny and meta. But
That's like
so
a
when
lol, but
what was your
yeah.
reaction when he caught that break? I'm just curious.
Hello,
You're like,
and he's like, oh,
So cute.
I'm a good lawyer. I was like, you're more than a lawyer, mate.
Okay,
So like,
but
yeah,
this
very
movie's called
happy.
Spider-Man, so I'm just curious. Is your second most satisfying scene the one when MJ picks up Peter? Come on, gotta be a spider in your scene.
MJ picks up Peter.
MJ
Let me think about it.
Sorry,
Oh.
Andrew picks up MJ. Would that be your second favorite scene?
Yeah, that one I when I went back home that night, I was just sitting there in bed like, oh my god.
Isn't
Like,
YouTube
Love.
great that you can
Hikara,
just
yeah.
rewatch it? Isn't that
Yeah.
great? I love
No, I was just
YouTube
sitting
leaks.
there, I was like, ayo, Hikara, I couldn't catch a girlfriend. Shit.
Dun,
Actually,
dun,
like,
dun,
Oh
dun.
yeah, like
I
at least like 10 minutes, I was just sitting there like staring at the ceiling, like, oh my god, that was so sad. Yeah. Yeah, the
I've
second.
been through like moments like watching YouTube videos, the Gwen Stephanie like death scene, right? Like sometimes it'll just
Stephanie.
pop up on your YouTube. Oh, sorry. Oh shit, Gwen Stacy.
Oh.
Like her death scene, right, on YouTube. Like occasionally it pops up for me and I watch it and I'll cry in bed. So I think this is great closure for me and a lot of people. But I guess if I had to pick, that would be like my favorite scene. But I also actually really like the ending. You know, when everyone was like going back to their own universe. You get a shot of each of them just slowly
And
going
that peace
on,
sign
right?
that Andrew does.
Yeah.
Oh, my man.
It's like it's you just have like a shot of each of the characters and it's just literally like it really hits in you, like you're just actually saying goodbye, like for the last time, like bye, you know, to your
Never
childhood. I think
goodbye.
that
It's see
really
you again.
hit.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh,
But
come
yeah.
on. I love how is he frozen?
Who? Me? Well, by dabbing? But
yeah, you were like
okay,
frozen
so
while
we
doing
so we
that.
have Matt Murdock, MJ, EASON. What was the most satisfying scene to you? The one you go like, yeah, movie.
Actually,
Movie.
besides I know the most satisfying scene is when I see both of them made into MIT, like Tom Holland,
Oh.
both Nat and also
What
MJ
a-
made it into MIT.
what a
Okay.
I was like,
that's cute.
oh, they made it. I was quite happy for them because imagine they didn't get in still, it'd be so sad. Tom Holland would be like, all this
Yeah.
done nothing at all. What is this? and I think it's also where Doc Ock was kind of becoming good. Like he finally he's able to become a good guy again. And I was like, oh, thank God, it's really nice. So yeah, I think these two are one of my sort of subtle scenes that I really like about as well.
I'm happy that we have some variety, but can I just say I saw this on Twitter, but sorry, this okay, another thing with the film, this film is based on the premise that it is that easy to get into MIT. Do you realize that is like the hardest you need to get into? So they just expected four people from the same school to get into MIT. I'm like, really? I'm sorry, but you guys are so you stuck up your ass that you think it's that easy. Anyway, uni admissions, we won't have to do that again. Fez, do you have a different favorite scene?
I have 4 favorite
Aku
scenes.
kata
Oh my
nak
god.
satu, kamu bagi empat apa
I'll
ini?
go them really quickly.
Go,
For
go.
me, I love the satisfying was when all 3 Spider-Mans finally worked together. They got that jam and they just like when like the first time they couldn't fight properly, it was funny, but then once they got it, that was so satisfying to me. And oh my god, for me, I know it was just 1 second, but when they were saying goodbye and when they hugged, it was just so cute and satisfying. And like it was like they were all in it together and they shared the pain. I love that. And I don't know if you guys picked up on this, maybe Momo might have. So when Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man and Electro were having that recolliding moment, and they played the Amazing Spider-Man theme song.
Oh,
Oh,
da-na-na-na.
like
Yes.
I was screaming. I was literally jumping out my seat. And
See,
thinking,
that's
like,
why I
what the
said.
heck?
That's why I said in the group, you will, because of the track leaks. They played that theme, so I was like, if you love the first Amazing Spider-Man, you're gonna love this movie.
I freaked out because I love that theme
Mm.
song so much. I screamed, I cried. Oh my god! And yeah, just finally, my last favorite. I mean, like satisfying scene was like, yeah, when Andrew and Electro like recollide, and even Toby and Doc. I just thought that was so satisfying to like have that good catch up and like not be evil. But yeah, I'm excited for the next segment that we're gonna talk about.
The funniest joke, the comedy, which scene?
Wait, are we
achieved-
not doing
No,
small scene?
funniest joke and then favorite small scene.
Okay, fine, great,
So sabar. We have to laugh at the comedy first.
great.
So let's laugh at the comedy. What was everyone's favorite joke? For me, it was the Black Spider-Man. I don't know why. I just found that so
Actually,
funny.
That
I was
one
like,
was funny too. It's like, I like your kid. You this, you that. It's just such a shame.
it's like, you're wearing a suit. I just thought you'd be black. And oh my god, I'm just gonna tie it in. I'm sorry. My favorite small scene was that one because, see, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, that he didn't really try to do anything with Electro. He was a dick to Electro. Like he fried that
Yeah,
fucker
actually.
in the data drive, and then even during the Times Square scene, he tried for a bit. I'm sorry, Max, that he at least talked to Electro there, but over here I just got that resolution that made me see the light that Andrew Garfield indeed was the best, was a misunderstood Spider-Man because he was in shit films. But yeah, let's go back to favorite joke. Does anyone have another favorite joke, Jang? What moment achieved comedy?
Uh, it's a weird one. It was actually the one where Toby was talking like, about Harry, and he was like, oh yeah, my best
Oh.
friend, my best friend tried to kill me, and then Ned is just there like,
Panic.
shit. And then like when he went over to Peter, and then he's just like, yeah, just slowly press the computer, then I walk away. Just traumatized. Holy shit. So like, yeah, I don't know why that got me.
Mel?
I liked when Tobey Maguire had back pain and Andrew
Oh
Garfield
my god.
picked him up to cry. It's not exactly
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
that was
verbal
cool.
joke, but that was funny.
That was funny, but at the same time, I was like, what movie is this? The first time I watched it, like,
I
if you told me I'd
know.
see it, Spider-Man give chiropracticness to another Spider-Man, I'd be like, what? So that was very jarring the first time, but the second time, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. But EASON, what achieved comedy for you?
I think it was really funny when the both Spider-Mans appear, and then they're like, "Oh, can you help? Can you try to crawl up, prove it?" And he's like,
Oh
"Bro,"
yeah.
and then clears the spider web. I was like, I just laughed. I think
Yeah.
it's really nice, like where MJ is like, "Prove it," and then he's like, "Okay, then I don't want to do it, but fine." Crawls, clears the spider web, jumps back down, and then I was like, "Oh," I mean, like Spider-Man wouldn't need to worry about cleaning and all, man. Just crawl on and just
His
catches
house
it
is
down.
so small that there wouldn't be much cleaning.
Yeah, that's true. But I really like that scene as well. I think it's quite nice.
Alright, Fez, what achieved comedy?
I
Different?
have
Same?
so many.
Okay,
I will
go.
them really quick. I
Yes,
love
ma'am.
that when Tom Holland, the Tom. I think we mentioned this earlier when
Uh-huh.
Tom Holland said that he worked in a team and he was in Avengers, and Toby
Oh.
and Andrew was like, "Cool, what is that? Is that bad?" And my favorite part was when they got it. Andrew was like, "Wait, I love you guys."
Oh, he
I
was.
love that. That was so funny. I just and also when Ned was calling Peter, but then all of them like yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and
like,
all of
yes.
them were like confused and like yeah. I also love when Peter finally controlled Doc Ock's hand. I remember the whole cinema was laughing and he just
Oh, it's so
controlled
cute.
it.
Dun, dun.
He
And they
just
played the
con-
nice homecoming theme. The dun,
Yeah,
dun,
it was
dun,
just
dun,
so
dun,
cute,
dun.
and it just shows how technology has evolved so much from like these old movie and from like the previous movies. I'm not sure if it's a joke. I mean, I don't think it's a joke. It's not a joke for sure, but personally, like I just shook my head in cringe when Aunt May say, "With great power come great
Not a
responsibility."
joke.
I'm like,
She
no,
died.
it's not a joke, but I'm just like, I just cringe because I'm like, how many times do we have to hear that line?
It was far better
got-
than Uncle
I got
Ben's
different- I got
in
different
the Amazing
reactions.
Spider-Man.
So like the first time I
I-
watched it, like no one cheered, but when I watched it the second time, people cheered when she said
I
that. I'm
didn't
like,
cheer. I was too
okay,
sad.
good for you.
Good for
No,
you.
when she said the line, I said the second half with her because I okay, for me it's kind of like every Spider-Man needs to hear this, right? This was Tom Holland's time to hear it in
I
his universe.
guess.
The previous Spider-Man's already. So when they hear that line, it's come to that point of their personal arc. Like Spider-Man has reached that peak
I
of
guess.
of them learning something big, right? So that was monumental.
I agree. I'd agree with all that. It was that moment where it goes, this is now, the stakes are real. Spider-Man
But
has to learn
I
responsibility.
wish
Yeah.
it was said differently though. Like if they said it differently, then like I would have appreciated. It's just that I've heard the same with
I
great
think I've
power.
seen this
Yeah, I've
thing
heard
before.
with great
Before.
power
Yeah,
comes great
they don't know.
responsibility so many times. If they reworded it like
No.
differently or something, but I'm just like I'm tired of hearing the same
I'm
line over
sorry,
and
but
over
at least that was straight to the point, okay?
Okay.
The best one is the old grandpa. It's the first from the first movie in the
Okay,
car.
yeah,
That was the
exactly.
best one.
Yeah.
Second one, I'd say it's Aunt May. The worst one is the one from the beginning Spider-Man. If you have a
Yeah, that one
responsibility
is
to do
stupid.
those things, that one is the worst. I'm sorry. How can you? Ugh,
Yeah.
But I think we should segue a bit more. Okay, I'll say my funniest joke because no one said it. I love those two stupid teachers in Peter's school.
Oh
the one
yeah,
where
they
they built
were
that
cute.
Oh yeah, those
They
those
were like-
idiots.
Oh my
And then
God.
you have the other guy who's the conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I thought that was just like I would love to see. I think Zendaya was the one who pitched a show where it would just follow the teachers of Midtown High. I'd watch that. I love that school and all the teachers. Just a bunch of dogs. But yeah, Mel.
Flash was really funny.
Uh,
He's gotten even more comedic towards like the third. I know. He's just like comedic effect. I remember like Flash in like the first movie is like really like intimidating. Like Tobey Maguire's time is like the bully, right? But this one is just like
Bully Maguire.
a.
But you know what I
But yeah.
realized we haven't talked about, and I think Fez alluded to this. Aunt May, she died.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
just Eason, I'm just curious. I didn't put this in the notes, but did you have any was that the most emotional scene to you when Aunt May died? Did you expect that? Because I didn't. I was shocked.
Actually, I did not too, but I think the most emotional scene for me was when it's Tom Holland's solo scene. I think that's when I feel the most emotion, when I feel like he has really grown up, like he starts
In
to
the
realize
rain,
that,
right?
yeah, especially the rain
Yeah.
as
The
he
TV,
looks
oh,
down
that
and
was
then
so
the
good.
camera
yes,
zooms into his face. I think he
Yeah.
plays the character at that moment perfectly
Mm.
to let us know that okay, this is a big deal, and it's not as like light-hearted as it seems before. They just kind of take it up a notch. You know, this is when
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
get real for Tom Holland, and I was like, oh, that's I feel it in my heart. I was like, oh man, compared to Aunt May, I kind of think that like it's either Uncle Ben or like Aunt May, but Uncle Ben doesn't exist, so hence it will be
Aunt May,
May.
the process of elimination, logic.
Exactly. So I wasn't too shocked, but what I was shocked was how good Tom Holland's performance after that showcases his grief. And that's what I was really impressed for in terms of the emotional scenes.
I don't know. I thought that scene was brilliant, like the operaticness of it all. And okay, Jon Favreau I love that man. He is an exceptional director, Mandalorian, Iron Man, but he's also an exceptional actor. Like the way he just looks at May, and at the end, especially when he has that talk with Peter, that man can act and direct and write, legend, and he can cook. If anyone has seen the Chef movie. So that's
Yes,
that
best chef ever.
I aspire to be that man. But oh man, I just love the scene where she died, because when she got hit by the glider, I went, ooh, like, oh my, I felt that in my abdomen, like, ouch, that must be painful. But the way when she just started out of breath, I was like, oh no, she's gonna die then. Oh man, as you said, Tom Holland scene, but I give a shout out to Marissa Tomei as well. But you know, the second time I watched it, I was like, I hope the people didn't shoot her head, because that would have been really violent. You know, when they started shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Then they actually shoot Aunt May. Then just imagine her head just like, wait, what the fuck? That's a random tangent, but yeah, Fez.
I just want to, like, since we're talking about Aunt May, I really love Aunt May in this movie. I love how she brought a lot of depth to Peter's character and the importance of helping people and giving them a second
The moral
chance,
compass.
which is the main motive of Spider-Man, because I felt like the other two Spider-Mans, they said that, but not the MCU Spider-Mans. The MCU Spider-Mans haven't really gone into that motive for the last two movies until this one, so I'm really glad that they brought it up in this movie. And Aunt May did a great job. Marissa Tomei did a great job.
And the Goblin, no good deed goes unpunished. You'll thank me later. Oh, so good. I love this film. But okay, here's the one that Fez was just so excited for. The favorite small scene. You were chomping. Is it champing at the bit or chomping at the bit? I don't know my English, but please, what was your favorite small scene that you were dying to talk about?
I know
at the beginning?
everyone said MJ and everyone said MJ and
But that's
Andrew
not
saying,
small. That's
I
big.
think it was small because like it was like not really like I don't know. I mean like I thought it was kind of small because like but I'm gonna
Okay.
ramble on it again. I just and I can't believe people predicted it. I didn't. If I'm gonna be honest, I really thought she was gonna die. But so glad that happened. But I just want to point out it was just so sweet and it was delivered really well and like oh my god, I just love Andrew Garfield's performance in this. It was just like you could just his whole facial expression and his voice shaking, his breath trembling. It was just fantastic, and he did show don't tell very well. So I just love that a lot. You don't need any exposition. It's just like him. It's just his acting, and that was just phenomenal. And I think this again. I just realized it's not a small scene. I guess it's a big scene too. But the rooftop scene when Andrew and Toby was giving advice to Tom, that was like that is one of my favorite scenes when they interact together. I think my favorite line, I saw like leaks as soon as this movie was over. There are so many leaks on TikTok. Just go on
It
TikTok
is so
and you'll
YouTube as well. Like the algorithm
Yeah.
is a shit.
yeah, it's so funny. But
I'm not
I just,
complaining though. I've seen
I'm
it.
not complaining too, but when I just love when my favorite line in that was when Andrew was saying to Peter and his voice was shaking. He said, "I don't want you to become like me." Oh my god, I died. Oh my god, that was just so good, and just Toby and Tom's performance, just that chemistry and interaction. Oh my god, I just loved it so much. And I guess this time this is really a small scene, but when Doctor Strange was about to send the villains home,
Oh, okay.
and you can feel that the villains were terrified, like when they found out they died, and then suddenly they have to go back home, and when the Green Goblin was like, "Peter, help!" Like you can just feel how terrified they are, which we haven't really, which is a great depth compared to what we've seen in the original. So I love how they brought that depth to the villains, that they're actually scared, and you can feel the vulnerability in all of them when Strange was about to send them home. But yeah, those are my
Not
favorite.
fucking
random
understand the
scenes.
assignment. I said a
I'm sorry, I'm
small
just too
scene.
excited.
Well, okay, I
sorry.
will let it slide.
I'm
The
too
teacher will look the
excited.
other way. But Ethan, did you have a favorite small scene? And please let it be a small scene, not a big moment.
Oh,
I'm
Horror.
sorry.
I think it's a small scene and kind of funny one when
Please,
Aunt
please,
May
please.
walk into MJ and
Hey,
Tom.
thank
Oh,
you.
that was funny.
Terima kasih.
Oh
Terima
my
kasih.
It was,
Small
then
scene.
she's like, "Well, you shouldn't be so shy about sex." Then I was like, yo, calm down." It was so funny though. I just laughed straight away. Although I think it's a good joke, and it was like a small scene that like Aunt May just of whoops, and then like how happy he just got break up with May, and then he's like, "Wait, we just break up? Aren't you guys like happy?" And I was like, and then it just really gets me to like my laughing nerves. I really enjoy those small scenes as well.
Oh, less than 5 seconds. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Mel, did you have a small scene? Please let it be small.
Norman Osborn,
Okay.
when he was in the kitchen with Aunt May,
That's small.
and
Good
Aunt May was talking to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and you see in the background he was basically trying to stuff food into his pocket.
Really?
He's
Wait,
stuffing the
really?
muffins. He's stuffing the
I
muffins.
didn't notice that.
He was like stuffing it in his pocket. I'm like, that's a typical old man move. That
Oh,
was so terrible.
damn. I didn't notice that.
From a billionaire to someone who is
Yeah, from a
homeless with
billionaire,
muffins.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, see, Mel Eason has given great small scenes. Jang, please, small, please.
Small. No, I like the. I was almost gonna say Eason's one about the one where they walked in. That was really fun. No, but the other one was the when they did the scene with Norman and he was talking to his helmet. Like it was nice that they put it on like a dumpster. Like I mean like he can do that as long as he has the helmet. So like okay, and then he just smashed it. I was like, oi, that's your helmet, bro. That's like one of the most important parts. But like, oh damn, like his character really like you can see that Norman is coming out and he's trying to suppress the goblin. So I really like that. Yeah, that scene lah. Yeah.
Then you had two add-on.
Oh yes, I think one
Tambah
more
satu.
is where Doc Ock and Aunt May, she's like, "Oh, you want a drink? You want fresh or salt?" Then I was like,
Oh, that was all
"Oh, what
right.
is that?" Then it's like, "Oh yeah, the octopus," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that too." And then I just kind of laughed a bit. I think it's really Doc Ock was like, "Really?" And then she's like, gotta ask. So I just feel
Gotta
like
ask,
that's a pretty funny small scene that's quite enjoying to watch as well.
Fuck it, let's go. I'm gonna give 3 small scenes. Okay, the real small scene is there's a line that Tom Holland says when he's trying to save the MIT girl. Don't worry, ma'am, I'm coming. I don't know, that the line delivery is just so funny. He's walking, I'm coming, ma'am, like just running like a potato, if that's the correct term. That was hilarious. And also, no one has mentioned this. The Peter Tingle, I love the way they did this. Just the camera work was exceptional. I thought. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like when he realizes that Norman is going to be bad, just the way the camera locks in, the
Oh,
background is zoomed.
yes.
That was exceptional. And
Oh,
another great
right.
shot was
Yeah.
the three of them when Goblin put the bomb inside the strange box, and then they just cut to all three Spider-Mans all having the tingle. Exceptional camera work, exceptional, wonderful stuff in this film. Brilliant. And not so small scenes, but I feel like we've gone through a lot of what we love. But does anyone have anything else to add that think we didn't touch on? Because I
Oh,
feel like the cinematography in this film was excellent.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what? First there was a lot of one takes. I love my one takes. Just technically great, but there are a lot of great shots where they really play with the foreground and the background. You know what I mean? Like they would blur the background and unblur it. Like I love the way they hug each other, if that makes sense, because it looks like a heart.
Yes.
I just really beautiful.
Oh.
And also, the what is it when he sees Ned and MJ in the cafe at the end? You know how it blurs the
Oh
background
yes.
first and then
Yes, that was so cool. Yeah.
just small things like that really worked. Oh, and I have one more small scene to add. When Doc Ock meets Norman, like you're gonna be whole again, no more doctor and a half, and you already know that the turn has happened,
Oh.
right? He's just like,
Yeah.
yes. I just thought that exceptional. But anyone have anything nice to add about the film that they love?
I think it's really funny how I acknowledge the way they create the webs as well. Like Tom and Andrew and Toby, they're like, so how do you guys produce webs? And then Toby just like, they're like, how did you do that? And I was like,
What the hell?
and then the slides of jokes like, so do you produce anywhere else besides your hand? Then I was just like, I see what you did there, Marvel. Very naughty. Someone on the naughty list today, yeah.
Naughty,
Cannot
naughty,
get
call your
present.
mommy.
So I just find it really funny how they acknowledge the differences of how Toby was such a badass, shoots webs, and then others are like have to make their own. I think it's really funny.
That was cool.
Guys has a question to ask us?
Do have a question to ask all of you because I'm really curious. So it's been confirmed from Amy Pascal and Sony that they're making another 3 Spider-Man. Wait, is that true? I thought that was not. Was that
Oh,
true?
because like it's not gonna happen. I don't think so. Because
But-
Sony. Okay, I'll tell you why it's probably not gonna happen. Because Sony still owns the right to the Spider-Man. Okay, maybe if this movie makes like $10 billion, they would be friends again. But
Oh, okay. I thought that
Sony
was
still,
true.
whatever, not
Oh.
Sony will make you remember. They still own Spider-Man. They're there in the beginning, they're there in the end. Sony phone, Sony, everything Sony. So I'm just remember this movie was not gonna happen. They broke up.
Yeah,
Disney
yeah,
and
I
Sony broke
remember
up.
that.
So no, Amy Pascal, she said like, we're gonna make 3
Oh.
movies with, I want all the movies with Tom Holland, but Tom Holland's like, I want to take a break.
Yeah.
And then the
So I was
director also has
confused.
moved on, so who knows? But yeah, just assume that they're gonna make 3 movies. What's your question?
I was gonna say, like, what do you guys think about that? Because I think this is the perfect ending. I don't really want to see any more. Like, how more? If you make 3, how are you gonna top this? You know what I mean? So I didn't know. I thought that was true. So it's not true, or is it
Let's
not
assume
confirmed?
it's true for the sake of it. Jang?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Fez. Like, no, not. It's kind of like Endgame. Like, this is the end for, like, it's the end of a trilogy. Like it's an end of a saga. It's the end of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So like, even if they do want to make another one, not for a while. I mean, like, like chill. Like you can chill for a while. Maybe in like, I don't know,
5 years.
5 years or something. 5 years, which yeah, but like yeah. So yeah, maybe down the line when we need a bit more spider, but like. For now, I mean, like, very satisfied, very happy. This will last me a very, very long time before I
I will ask.
need
It's
yeah,
self-sustaining.
before I need to see more spider. Like, especially they got Spider-Man games coming out, like MOMO, you know, we got the next Spider-Man game. So we got stuff happening.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. So we still got our fill of Spider-Man. So like, Yeah, it's all good. We don't
Enough
need more.
Pacquiao. We have enough Peter
No, like
Parker.
yeah, maybe in 5 years, but for now, nah, I'm good.
Mel, would you like to see more Spider-Man?
Well, I guess it depends on how they're gonna play it out, but honestly, I feel like let's not try to like top this movie up. It's like trying to make a
Mm.
sequel to a
Yes.
movie that already has a perfect
Yeah.
ending. Like if you want to go a different direction, by all means, let's
Yeah.
go ahead, right? But if you're gonna continue down this path, I'd say just end it here.
Exactly.
I
And
agree as well.
good-
I'm looking
agree.
forward
Wow.
to them having the animated version like last time,
Oh,
like what
yes,
they
yes.
did. I'm looking forward to have the
Oh,
sequel of that because they started off really strong, and I really look forward to
Yeah.
how they play around, let's say, the different animated Spider-Man stories because they have so many, and they can play around and it fits into the multiverse themes as well. I think it's really cool of how they hinted with this sort of animated movie, and I think they can continue from there. I would prefer them to go that direction because it opens up a lot of possibilities as well, rather than just sticking back to the old thing and keep reusing the same Spider-Man that we are used to.
Yeah.
So, Fez, you think it's best we just wait, right?
Just for me,
Wait a while.
wait, I just feel like just end it, to be
It's so
honest.
perfect, right?
Yeah, it just ended, man.
And
Like
like,
even yeah, what were you gonna say?
we've had Spider-Man. This, you know how people were like, I don't want to see an origin movie of Spider-Man anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've just had 3 origin films.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it is perfect because we've seen Peter Parker go to college and deal with alone, but then at the same time, you want to see Tom Holland deal in that world. So obviously, I like to see it because I think he's an exceptional actor, and he deserves to be the Spider-Man and not really Iron Man Jr. or Spider-Boy. But I'll just add one more thing. You know, the when Ethan was talking about an animated show, I thought he was talking about a different one, not Spider-Verse. But I think Jang is aware of this. Do you know what I mean by Spider-Man freshman year?
Roughly, I've heard about it, but
So it's
I'm
it's
familiar
an
with it.
animated Disney Plus show that deals with Spider-Man before Civil War. So like when he's in college and but and it's produced by
Oh.
Feige, but we don't know if Tom Holland's returning. But he might for the animated show. But that's
Oh,
quite interesting.
animated. Oh, I see.
For Disney Plus. But yeah, Jeng.
No, yeah, since you're saying that it's a good ending and everything, but like it's kind of depressing. The end, no, like for Tom Holland, I mean, it's depressing because Aunt May is dead. His friends all don't know him. He still has to be Spider-Man, and he's just in that shitty apartment with no money. Like, whoa, that he couldn't be in a worse place. So like, oh damn, like yeah, like I mean I'm okay with how everything ended, but oh damn, he's got a hard life.
It's
like,
a hard long life for us.
Yeah, and I actually didn't get to not like when he was swinging through the city at the end, like you didn't really get to see the costume nicely. So like yeah, but at the same time it's not enough for another movie lah, but like they've left a bit of things, like they've left a few cliffhangers, which is nice and kind of sad at the same time. But yeah, so there is space for Tom Holland to keep going, you know.
Yes.
In terms of like, because Jang mentioned Tom Holland, I don't know if you guys have read this, but Tom Holland really did say that if this is the last Spider-Man, it's okay. He feels that it's also time to say goodbye, and he also really wants like Sony to produce like other Spider-Man movies not relating to Peter Parker. I guess Miles Morales also, but yeah, Tom Holland upfront did say if this is goodbye, then this is goodbye for him, and I'm really happy that if Tom Holland thinks that it's time to move on, then it's okay for us also to explore different stories. And he upfront said that if he still plays Spider-Man when he's 30, then he said something he's doing is not right. So the fact that he wants to conclude it, or if he knows this is his time for goodbye, I really appreciate it a lot.
But let me change the question. Everyone, can you guys unmute?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I told you Spider-Man 4 is in theaters next year, will you buy a ticket? Yes or no?
Too fast.
Huh? You don't know? You're
um,
lying. You have to do a show, woman.
I mean,
You don't want to buy a ticket to Marvel movie?
We have to.
You're
I mean, I'll
obligated.
We can
watch
torrent
it. I mean, I'll watch it, but I'll just be like, huh? If that makes sense. 'Cause I'm a Marvel fan, so I'll watch it. I'll watch it anyway, but I'll be like, huh? Okay.
But everyone else will watch the movie, obviously, right? Buy a ticket.
Of course, but like
Of
I
course.
mean, no, but it gets to a point like of course, but why? Like stop
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
You will
Stop this.
begrudgingly enter the cinema.
Basically,
No, like I'm
ba-
like, what are you guys gonna do this time? Like what can you do that
Okay.
that can justify me? Yeah.
basically we're all facing the Toy Story crisis again. When Andy went off to college, and we're all like, oh my god, okay, that's so sad, but that's it, that's the end of our childhood. And they just kept coming back with new Toy Story movies. I'm like, yeah, okay, it was good, but I mean, like, you know, it's like we want more, but at the same time, this would be such a great place for them to end
For them
it.
to end, right? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great
But-
Yeah, it's Toy
film
Story
saga.
syndrome.
but if
Toy
we do
Story
get a new
syndrome.
if we do get a new Spider-Man, calling it 10 years from now, we'll have Toby, Andrew, Tom Holland, and a new Spider-Man all come together.
Oh my god!
I really hope. Honestly, the best thing I could see with a Tom Holland film is him and a Miles Morales. I think that could be a lot of
Oh,
fun.
okay.
See him in a
Mhm,
different
yeah.
mentorship kind of like deal with that darkness. But let's round it off. This is really long, but we have to talk about. We're not going to talk about the Venom end credits, except the
Oh.
fact that it's very funny that the funniest meme I saw was like Kevin Feige saw Venom come in the MCU and was like, "Fuck off."
Hell no.
So if you guys want to see, I think Mel alluded to this earlier, like you don't know how the villains came into the universe, just watch the Venom 2 end credits because it's
Oh,
Venom
okay.
being transported into the
Yeah.
MCU. And we were all like
Okay.
panicking, like what the fuck is happening? But now we know that's what happens when the spell breaks. You literally just get transported. But also Fez and Jang, one word, Danny Rojas, I love football.
Huh?
Danny
Oh,
Rojas. I love
I
football.
didn't know
that
who
was
he-
him.
Wait,
You
can,
didn't
Can you
realize?
who is?
Oh
No, the guy from Ted
it's like
Lasso.
from Ted Lasso, the
The bartender. I love
Oh my
football.
god!
I love
Yeah.
football.
Oh
He killed
my
my
god!
family, sir.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh
That was
Yeah,
the
exactly.
I'm gonna be like a news anchor. That was the live reaction to Fez finding out that Danny Rojas was in. That is really funny. We're gonna clip that up. But
my god!
oh my
Oh my
god,
god!
it was a
Sorry,
funny
because I
scene.
did it the first time. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. Oh,
No, because I didn't realize until some
I didn't know.
couple in
too.
front of me was like, "Oh, it's from Ted Lasso," and I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Wait, Jan,
But
did you know?
No, I didn't know. But oh yeah. No
less
wonder
of an
that
audible
that guy
reaction
looked
than
familiar.
yours.
No wonder that guy looked familiar. I was like, where is this fucker from? I was like, oh.
I love football. Mel and Eason, you should watch Ted Lasso. Really good show, really nice. But let's talk about the Doctor Strange sequel titled Doctor Strange Will Return, which is a very weird title. You get how- At
It's
the end,
the
like-
longest Marvel post-credit scene, right?
No, it reminded me of like the first what they did for Captain America, the first Avenger was show the Avengers trailer. I like this one more. I like when
Yeah,
they
It
show
was
I like
literally
trailers.
a
Yeah.
trailer. It was
I
nice.
like it.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
it.
But
I
Mel
liked
was
it.
gonna leave, weren't you?
No, I thought
Uh-huh.
there was only gonna be one post-credit scene, so
Mm.
I was really hyped and I texted you, "I'm done, guys," and I'm actually really glad you told me there was a second credit scene. I was like, "Oh shit, gotta stay," so I stayed, and it was worth it because I was like, "Oh, this is some high class like post-credit scene." So it was a low key trailer, and I just really like. I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange next year, and it's really funny because it made me think of the What If show with the like that one Doctor
Yeah.
episode.
No, and the
Um,
monster was back.
and-
That fucking ugly
Yeah.
tentacle shit.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and I was like,
Mm.
I think if I recall properly, like correctly, like we did say, oh, we kind of might have alluded to something, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, so yeah, probably, referencing a future Doctor Strange movie, and might not be like totally off track. I don't know. Yeah.
Fez, Doctor Strange will return the movie.
I'm
Weird title.
excited. I mean, like the trailer looked really great, but I don't know if you guys heard about it when they first announced it in Comic Con 2019. But they said that they wanted to take like a horror. They wanted it to be a horror
Yeah.
movie. So I hope they still do that because
I think they are.
I didn't really get that from the trailers. So I think it'll also be really cool to see the
Oh
horror.
my-
Also,
Dark Cumberbatch looked really dark.
yeah.
Really.
I disagree. I thought it looked very horrifying.
I don't know. I didn't. I
The
didn't
what if
pick
the what if
up.
references scared me to hell.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, oh shit, what
I
if?
was traumatized.
But
I-
I just want
Same,
to add
same.
quickly. I should have said this earlier, but I did love when in Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, when he went to the mirror dimension and seeing like the effect of the world going upside down. It was great to see that. That was one of Doctor Strange's like best parts of the movie. So it was really great to see that in Spider-Man. So and
Wait till you
hopefully
see it in IMAX.
I will. Don't worry.
No, but okay, do we have to reference What If again? You know
No.
when Spider-Man says, "Come on, Strange, have a heart," and I was like, "What if Doctor Strange didn't have a heart?"
Oh, come on.
But actually, that was a good episode. I digress. But
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jang Eason, what did you think of Doctor Strange Will Return?
Okay.
That movie,
I
exciting,
love
Alright.
nice.
that.
Any
All
visuals
right.
you like? We'll be there. I'll see you in May 2022. Is that your
No,
reaction?
no. I was actually really I like when they do that, like when they put like
The full
almost
trailer.
like like a
Yeah.
trailer, because like I don't know, it feels epic, like after like sitting there looking at the credits for so long, and then suddenly like whoa, like 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 some of the end credits last time is
Yeah.
just like really short and really like 10 seconds, and you're like,
Yeah.
I waited so long for that. But this one was like almost a full on trailer, and like whoa, it does look good, but like I'm still on Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to think about that for a while. So like yeah, like once it comes out, okay. But for now, I'm like, yeah, I'm too happy from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly, so when I first watched it, no one really freaked out about the trailer, but the second time I watched it, people in my second viewing, they screamed when Wanda appeared. I was really shocked that people reacted when Wanda appeared, so that was really cool to
She
hear
looks so
people
good.
scream. She does. She looks amazing. I can't wait to
Oh
see
my god,
Doctor Strange.
was she a bit blonde also? She looks, yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
yeah.
Vision. Oh, but Ethan, have you watched WandaVision, right?
Not yet actually. I was planning to watch it after during my holidays, but I kind of got lazy. Should I watch
Oh,
it? Should I watch it,
yeah,
guys?
definitely.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god, I
Oh,
think I see.
oh
I
shit.
see. Let me go check it out then when I'm free. Haha.
But the streak continues of Benedict Cumberbatch fighting himself.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
Smaug, Dormammu, and this. But okay, I guess we didn't cover. I mean, also don't forget Wong is now Sorcerer Supreme.
That was
that
cool.
that made me laugh. Like I love Wong. Doctor Strange 2 looks epic, and I don't think you should worry about the horror bit because remember Sam Raimi directing this film. He did the original Spider-Man.
Mm.
That scene with the tentacles going
Yes,
haywire in the hospital, exceptional. But
yes.
oh my god, this is the longest discussion we've had. But I think I personally had a lot of fun. That was the highlight of my week. That was the reference. But yeah, please, thank you for joining us. If you stuck around this long for like an hour and 30 minutes, wow, incredible!
Wow.
Wow. You must be
Wowie.
Amazing.
you must be a true fan. I think all of us here are just very happy that we all had a good time with Spider-Man No Way Home. And if you like what we talked about, subscribe to the podcast
Uh,
feed. Find us on Instagram at What You Think Podcast. Like all that on the YouTube algorithm or whatnot. This is Momo signing off for Mel, Fez, Jang, Eason. Adios, sayonara, ciao. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.